It's here. Got my readers on because we're going to be working up close today so I can see. Let's see, where should I start? Well, I'm going to start like this. This video is going to be about the bullet button. The bullet button really only concerns California, or I don't know, maybe on the East Coast there's a state like that, I don't know. But out here on the West Coast, it's California. And I've got friends that come up here to the ranch up in Nevada to shoot, and I've noticed the bullet button, and we talk about them and various mouse traps. You know, there's a lot of different ways to do it, and they've evolved. But for people who don't know, in California they started passing rules and regulations, and you had to have, you could have an AR, but it had to have a fixed, permanently affixed 10-round magazine that couldn't be removed except with a tool. And the early versions were really difficult to work with because normally they had some kind of roll pin, some pretty permanent system to lock the mag into place. And you had to have some tools, real tools, to get it apart. Well, you know, necessity being the mother of invention, some enterprising fellow came along with the idea of the bullet button. And the bullet button has evolved, and that's kind of what this video is about, to tell you the options, or give you some idea of the options out there. Because having a permanently fixed one with a roll pin is just very difficult. You have to take the hold down pin and, you know, open the rifle up, separate the upper from the lower, and load one round at a time, which is just really cumbersome. So here comes the bullet button. And I'm going to give you the gouge on the button and the evolution. This is the factory parts. This is your mag catch, spring, and button, which I'm sure anybody who's capable of working on an AR, putting one together like Chris, you're going to know how they go. But the mag catch goes in from the left side. It's in this slot here like that. And then the spring goes on that way, and the button, the release button, would go in from this side. Normally you depress the button in quite a ways so that you can wind the mag catch in from this side here, and you wind it in this direction. And you get the depth set correctly, and that's it. There's your stock military mag catch and button. So here's what happened. Kind of in the first generation, they did away with this button, and they came up with this button. By the way, I had to snatch this out of my friend's hand. He's dying to put his new receiver together. He's just going to have to be patient. Anyway, what they did is they took a stock button and they just drilled a hole right here, right next to the original hole, and tapped it and threaded it. And they use a 3/4 inch long set screw. Looks like it's 440. And the deal is, you wind this set screw in after you install the button. And the idea is you wind this thing all the way down until it bottoms out against the back side of the receiver, and then you can't depress it. So that would lock the magazine in, and it would satisfy the requirements for that, because it now takes a tool to remove the magazine. But it's a little cumbersome because you got to have this little tiny Allen wrench, and if you lose it, you're going to have to find another one. And you got to wind this out about 4 or 5 turns before it will work like a conventional mag button to remove the mag. And that's fine for cleaning. But if you were up here, say in Nevada, you're going to have this threaded out, and it gets a little hard on your finger after, you know, a day of target shooting. So we move on to another generation. And this is where I think they really got them down right. This is the new and better version. This is put out by, this one happens to be by Radic, a Gen X. So now we're going to lose the spring, and the only thing we're going to keep is the original mag catch. And I'm going to install this one just so we can see how it works. So you put your catch in, just like that. Then you've got the new spring, which fits in just like the old spring did. And this is the button. You'll notice it's a lot longer, kind of different. And there's essentially a nut, barrel nut, captured inside of this thing, so it'll rotate, but it can't it can't come out. So all you do is set that one in place, and you can use a pocket screwdriver if you want. All you're doing is just wind this in. By rotating this, you're spinning the nut onto the shaft, and as you can see, it's closing up until it just bottoms out like that. And once it's bottomed out, you can't push it anymore. So your 10-round magazine, which is what you're required to have in California, now fits up in the receiver and locks into place. And you can't remove it except with the use of a tool. And guess what the tool is? Here's the one they send with the package. It's a little cumbersome to use. That's why I use a pocket screwdriver or just a regular screwdriver. But they consider 1 round of ammunition to be a tool. And here you go. Watch this. Boing. Out it comes. So you just use a bullet tip. That's pretty convenient. And if you're up here at the ranch, what you can do is you can unscrew this 4 turns. Like that. You can put your magazine in. She locks. And with that wound out 4 turns, it now becomes a conventional mag button. Now that's pretty convenient. I rather like that. There's no special tool involved. You can't lose the Allen wrench. You can do it with just a pocket screwdriver, or if you've got your multi-tool, there's probably a small enough screwdriver on that to work it. You don't have to worry about losing it, but you can still operate it. Now when he wants to go home, of course to be legal again, he would just put his 10-round magazine in and use his screwdriver to tighten that back up again, just like that. And now it's no longer removable, and now you're cow legal. And that's the bullet button. Probably where they came up with the name, huh? Bullet button. Anyway, that is the gouge on the bullet button in California, and I hope that clears up some of the mystery. I rather like this myself. I've seen some others where they have a permanent earth or rare earth magnet component that fits onto there to make it usable. I've seen some where they have 2 parts where the other part snaps on, so if you go to Arizona, Nevada, whatever, you can use it that way, but you got to remember to take it off because you can't have the tool attached to the rifle. You'd be in violation. And the other problem with those is if you lose that little particular part, then it becomes problematic. That's kind of why I like this one. And I'm sure there's a lot out here that are very similar, but he had brought this one up with him to install, and I rather liked it. So there's the gouge on the bullet button. I hope that clears some of the mystery up for a lot of people out there. And we'll see you next time.